Hey guys, in this video sharing about stochastic heat map is a graphical representation of data or information that uses random or stochastic patterns to visualize the distribution, intensity, or density of a particular variable or attribute. It typically consists of a grid or matrix of cells, where each cell is filled with a color or pattern that represents the value or level of the variable being visualized. Is one of my favorite trading setups. Go to the Indicators tab and type in Stochastic Heat Map by Violet. Edit your chart. Go to the settings of this indicator and change the moving average from EMA to WMA. You then choose Theme 1. You change the increment from 10 to 8, the smooth fast length from 2 to 7, the smooth slow length from 21 to 26, and the plot number from 28 to 25. And then you go to Style. And as you can see here, we have a lot of plots. We need to change just 2 plots. And it is all the way down almost to the end. So just scroll down. And just before you see bar color, you can see here the last 2 colors, which are for the K line and the D line. I will explain you that afterwards, but first change the color 0 from the K line to orange and then make it a little bit bolder. So you go here under thickness, you can make it bolder. And then you go to the last plot and make it also a bit bolder so we can see it better. And then you click OK. And before we go to the next indicator, let me give you some basic explanations of this indicator. So what we are doing here is basically plotting a lot of oscillators into a heat map, which will help us identify overbought and oversold regions. As you can see here, we have green and red lines. The green lines will show us overbought regions and the red lines, oversold regions. I will explain you how to use this heat map. But first, let's add the second indicator. You go to the Indicators tab and type in Pivot Point, Super Trend, Buy Loan Zone. Add it to your chart. Now, go to the settings of this indicator and under Inputs, we're going to change the pivot point period from 2 to 3, the ATR factor a bit lower to 2, 8, and the ATR period from 10 to 8. As you can see here, we have the possibility to even show support and resistance levels from this indicator. So if you check it, you can see it shows support and resistance levels okay. We're not going to do that because I will show you later in the video an even better support and resistance indicator, which is by far one of my favorites. Please make sure to stay tuned. For now, just click OK. And this indicator we just added is really awesome in giving us very accurate buy and sell signals. As you can see here, we have this huge movement to the upside and we're going to use this indicator to catch trend reversals. And for that, we will use this stochastic oscillator map for confirmation, meaning that every time we are in a red zone, meaning that we are in an oversold zone, we're going to wait for the K line to cross the D line, meaning that we might potentially be getting a trend reversal. And then after that, when you get a buy signal from the pivot point super trend indicator, we're going to enter a long position. As you can see here, this is a really great one. We could have made up to 2.85% on this move alone without leverage. Meaning that we would have more than 28% if we would apply a 10x leverage, for example. Certainly. Here's an expanded version of the previous sentence that includes additional information about the need for exit signals in trading. So go to the Indicators tab and type in Volume SR. And then you will see here Volume-Based Support and Resistance Zones by Tomy. Really an amazing indicator, and that's why it's also an editor's pick. So please add it to your chart. We will have to change some settings here. So go to the settings. And what you can see here on the inputs is that it is a multi-time frame indicator. So meaning that it will show you support and resistance zones from different time frames on your chart. And you can show here up to 4 time frames. It's really good because you don't have to change the time frame of your chart while doing your technical analysis. So it makes your life a lot easier. But for this strategy here, we're going to use only 3 time frames for our support and resistance zone. Let's begin with the settings of the first time frame. Change the volume MA threshold from 6 to 8 and the number of zones back from 30 to 33. Now also change the resistance lines and support lines color to the same OK. In this case here, I will use yellow, and it's important to choose the same color because otherwise it will be a bit confusing. Now change the time frame to. We're going to double the time frame that we are using. If we are on the 4 hour in the chart, I would use the 8 hours as a second time frame. Here I would also change the volume threshold to 8 and the number of zones back. We also change it to 33. We use the same settings as for the first time frame. Here I would also change the volume threshold to 8 and the number of zones back. We also change it to 33. We use the same settings as for the first time frame. And here I would also change the color to the same so that we can see the better. And then we have here the third time frame. And here I would let it shoot daily. So because we are trading here on the 4 hours or depending on the strategy, so I would also change it to the same setup of the other zones. And here you choose the same color for resistance and support lines. And then you click OK. And now this is basically the setup that we need for our strategy. I will show you in the end another interesting indicator, but with these 3 indicators alone, you can already build a very profitable strategy. So let's consider this long signal here. As you can see, we have a crossover from the K line over the D line in an oversold region. So it's a confirmation for our buy signal, OK. And now it's the question, how can we draw the support and resistance zones? And the way I would use this indicator is just to check for the most overlapping zones of support and resistance. As you can see here, we can see that the price gets supported here on this zone. Furthermore, we can also see that there are other zones here as well, meaning that we have a lot of liquidity in this area. Then I would just go and draw a rectangle in this area in order for me to use it as my exit level. This would be my first level. Then as we go further, you can see here a huge rejection of the price and also the zones here. There are also here some support on this area. I'm going to go and draw another zone right here which I will use as another exit point. After you finish drawing your exit targets, I would just go and hide the indicator so that you can see it better. Now you have your setup. One last indicator I would like to show you. If you go to the tab and type in Breakout Probability Expo. As you can see here, we have Breakout Probability Expo, which is also an editor's pick. So you add it to your chart. You go to the settings of the indicator and change the percentage of step to 1.2 and the number of lines to 4. Then you disable the Show Statistic panel. You click OK, and this indicator is going to try to predict the next candle based on the last candle, giving you the likelihood if the price is going to go up or down. The way we're going to use it is going to the higher time frame. In this case here, we're going to check the daily time frame. If we want to take a long position, we're going to check how is the probability of the price going up or down. And as you can see here, the probability of the price going up is much higher than going down. So in this case, we have a further confirmation for a long position. And that's it for the video, guys. Make sure hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Thanks for watching our video.